CNN last night was tasked with real-time analysis of the elections in New Jersey and Virginia and New York City. And Van Jones, who's a pretty leftist, he was kind of shocked at Zoran Mamdani's victory speech. He thought that Mamdani was going to reach across the aisle and bring the city together and put out an olive branch so that we could all move forward now that the election is over and build a better New York City. And boy, was Van Jones wrong. We'll show you his reaction and Scott Jennings' pushback in a quick second. But first, good old reliable Alyssa Farah there at CNN. You know, the conservative commentator there, she's all dreamy over Zoran. Yeah, the conservative Republican in name only thinks Zoran's the bee's knees.
Why don't you say, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I said this was very much for his opening marquee speech, a wholesale defense of socialism. And oftentimes people run as democratic socialists, but try to talk a little more about economic populism. Democrats have needed their version of like the left-wing Donald Trump, who could talk about affordability, but back it by their policies. This was, I mean, he was just rattling through the points that we'd expect while in the economic capital of the world, New York City. But he also did a remarkable job of setting the highest possible expectations for himself. This is a very young, untested gentleman. He was a state assemblyman. He's 34 years old. He wants to run an economy the size of Japan or South Korea here in New York City. And he's basically saying the most grandiose expectations of what he's going to do, ignoring that he has to work with Albany. He has to work with the state assembly to get the bulk of it done.
Okay, so she's impressed, and she had her smart girl glasses on, so you know she's serious. Moving on to Van Jones, who got to speak immediately after this radical leftist socialist victory speech, where he basically, forget about reaching across the aisle and trying to forge relationships with his political opponents. He locked them all into, I mean, you know that scene in The Patriot where they lock everybody into the church and then they try to burn the church down so that they all die? You know, and just in case, while the building was burning, Zoran had his, you know, rhetorical army holding AK-47s outside in case anyone tried to escape. They'd mow them down, rhetorically speaking, of course. In a revolution like this, the guns come much later. Oh, but they're coming. They're guns. Okay, so here's Zoran Mamdani finishing his speech, and Van Jones was surprised. Shocked, I tell you.
I think he missed an opportunity. I think the Mamdani that we saw on the campaign trail, who was a lot more calm, who was a lot warmer, who was a lot more embracing, was not present in that speech. And I think that Mamdani is the one you need to hear from tonight. There are a lot of people trying to figure out, can I get on this train with him or not? Is he going to include me? Is he going to be more of a class warrior, even in office? I think he missed a chance tonight to open up and bring more people into the tent. I think his tone was sharp. I think he was using the microphone in a way that he was almost yelling. And that's not the Mamdani that we've seen on TikTok and the great interviews and stuff like that. So I felt like there's a little bit of a character switch here where the warm, open, embracing guy that's close to working people was not on stage tonight. And there was some other voice on stage. That said, he's very young.
All right. I just find this hilarious, actually. This is not the Zoran Mamdani we all saw during the campaign. What happened here? I saw all those 25-second TikTok videos, and he was smiling and happy and eating a falafel and rice with his fingers. And now suddenly he wants to control the means of productions in New York? Where did that come from? These are paid political analysts who are supposed to watch the news and see what's coming. And really, let's be clear, what Van Jones was saying, a man who was involved in the Barack Obama revolution of 2008, what Van Jones is saying is, listen, dude, on election night, when you win and you give your speech, now's the time where you need to bullshit. Come on, man. This is where you have to look the American people in the eye and lie your ass off and tell them we're going to work together and we're going to go arm in arm and there is no red America or blue America. It's just red, white, and blue. You know, all the bullshit that Barack Obama said. make people at least think you're going to work with your opponents. Make people at least believe that you're not the radical leftist that you obviously are. That's what Van Jones, I think, is saying, I suppose. Meanwhile, Scott Jennings was listening to Van Jones with that look on his face. And look at that split screen. That's perfect. And when it was Scott's turn to talk, he did not disappoint.
Scott?
Oh, are you saying he wasn't the unifying voice of a generation that you predicted mere moments ago? Axe, where was the man that you predicted would not slice and dice the? Look, guys, he started his speech by quoting Eugene Debs, who ran for president of the United States 5 times as the Socialist Party of America candidate. He repeatedly attacked people in this. No, I know my socialists. I keep a close eye on them. I work here. So here's the thing. He went after everybody that he thinks is a problem. People who own things, people who have businesses. He said an interesting quote: "No problem too large for government to solve."
Or too small, important.
And so when you think of the world that way, that every problem, no matter how small or how large, is something for government to do, let me just decipher this for you. Tax increases as far as the eye can see, which means the people who need to provide jobs to the young people that you say need jobs are going to flee as quickly as they possibly can. I think this was a divisive speech, and he clearly sees the world in terms of the people who are oppressing you and the oppressed. And he said the oppressed are now in City Hall.
I'm
Scott?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what we all saw. And Jennings wasn't done there. He had more observations. He was really on his A game last night, on a night where we need Scott Jennings.
Compliment your guy. He's the greatest actor you have. You know, he turned himself into a hood ornament for the poor and the downtrodden. He's a rich kid who is a great actor. He play acts.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I can understand why. I can
I'm
understand
just
why
saying.
you'd be leery of an actor in politics.
I'm just saying, there's no other obvious Democrat. He has all the energy behind him. You talk about slicing and dicing the electorate. He's going to slice it and dice it in one way: oppressors and oppressed.
No.
And I want to find out if he has it in him to give it up. I don't think he does, because that's the energy in the Democratic Party. It's oppressors and oppressed.
No.
That's why the Jews in this city feel scared, because they know he has labeled them as the oppressors. That's why people who create jobs in New York City are leery, because he labels them the oppressors. That is the worldview of the energy of this campaign, and it's also the worldview of the energy of Democratic primaries across this country.
That's right. It's why he got so many endorsements, even from Kathy Hochul in New York. And it's going to come back to bite them on the butt. You have to understand that he is in burn the house down mode right now. Mamdani is now a national figure, and he's going to capitalize on it. You see, Zoran Mamdani cannot run for president. So what can he do? What can he do? What he can do is acquire power and create a political juggernaut. And Democrats are so terrified that they can't stop him, because they've got all of these, frankly, programmed zombies coming out of higher education who have been preached about the dangers and evils of capitalism and imperialism and America for the last couple of decades. And the Democrats who have been in charge of the major cities in America, where these highly educated but brainwashed zombies live, who think socialism is actually a good idea, those Democrats who run those cities have dragged them down into such a politically correct woke morass that they're looking around saying, this place sucks. It's got to be capitalism's fault. This place sucks. It's got to be America's fault. It's got to be our founding father colonialist slave owners' fault. Whereas the rest of us living in normal America actually say, what a great country we live in, because our countries function, because we haven't bought into all of that garbage. But you see, the Democrat Party need all of those brainwashed zombies who live in those big cities. Look at the blue-red map, man. It's not state by state. It's city mouse, country mouse, right? And the city mouse is very, very blue. And without those votes, without that energy, without that political organizing, without that voice, without those votes, there is no Democrat Party. So this is it. And so now Zoran Mamdani is going to go national. And one more Jennings clip here, because I mentioned that Mamdani quoted Nehru glowingly in his speech. And Jennings delivered a bit of a history lesson there, because David Axelrod and Van Jones, again, don't really follow these things very closely. You can forgive David Axelrod and Van Jones, though. They worked in the Obama White House where, hell, forget about Nehru. They had people who were celebrating Mao. So, I mean, please, let's grade on a curve here, shall we?
You know, I think just want to offer condolences to Chuck Schumer. Honestly, what I'm reading here in New York City is that AOC is going to be the next senator from New York after she gets done whooping his rear end in the 2028 Democratic primary. And for his Senate races in 2026, I see the energy in the Democratic Party tonight behind a socialist, and I see the energy in Virginia, Democrats looking the other way on a violent candidate for attorney general who says he wants to murder Republicans and their children. If you think you're getting rid of Graham Plattner in Maine now, think again. This is a terrible night for national Democratic image, given what is happening inside their party. Mamdani is an avowed socialist. It's not what people say that he is, it's what he says that he is. He's now the leader of their party. That's their energy, and Chuck Schumer's
He's the leader of the Democratic Party?
Let's swear.
There is no. Who is the leader? Can someone tell me?
He's a life raft for Republicans who have to go on TV and get their asses kicked.
You own this. You own this now. You all own this now.
Oh, I love that, Axelrod. Oh, you're just using, he's a life raft for you because you have some other talking point. Dude, you guys just elected him the mayor of New York City. Don't put that on us. How dare you use this guy's political positions in his speeches and his ideas and beliefs against us? Oh, yeah. Well, that never happens in politics. He's the leader of the party. And as I said a couple of weeks ago, it's not the Democrat Party anymore. They are Democrat socialists. At least you're not hiding about it anymore. Good. Come on out of the closet. You'll feel better about yourself. It's good. Have some pride, as it were. It's who they are. And it's always good to know who your political opponent is. And now you can plan accordingly. And I hope you do.